Do you struggle with feeling happy? Because if you do, then you're probably not practicing these 3 things. This is the fear, control, focus lesson that will help you feel less stressed and depressed and more relaxed, confident, and happy.
What if the thing that would make you happier requires you doing something that you're afraid of? Take, for example, making friends. Making and maintaining strong friendships is one of the wells of well-being that you can drink from. But if you fear rejection or being vulnerable, how are you supposed to make those deep and meaningful relationships? The tricky part is that sometimes you don't even realize that your actions are being dictated by your fear. That if a fear goes unaddressed, no matter where you go, eventually, those same feelings of stress, overwhelm, worry, and loneliness will come back. In the following scenario, can you tell me whether or not you're someone who wants to make friends? Now, I don't know your name, but for the sake of the story, let's say your name is Mark. Mark goes to some social events, but could reasonably go to a few more. He makes logical reasons, i.e. excuses, for not going. He says to himself he's actually comfortable at home, that he wouldn't enjoy going out anyway. Mark asks questions to others, but rarely shares about himself. He tells himself it would be arrogant if he shared anything about himself. Strangely, this belief does not apply to other people sharing. Other people sharing is okay. Mark waits for others to make plans, rather than make plans for himself and then invite others. He tells himself that other people are probably just busy with their own plans, even though asking them doesn't do any harm, and even though there's a good chance they're just relaxing at home. Does Mark's actions actually reflect his desire to make friends? What do you think is the difference between Mark's desire for friendship and his actions? Mark's actions are not dictated by his desire to make friends, but by his fear of rejection. The fear is hidden. It comes through as pseudo-rational reasons for not following through on the things that lead to friendship. So the first life secret to feeling happier is this.
Pinpoint what it is you truly fear. Accept your fears. And think about how these fears have influenced how you choose to react to others and how you choose to react to your environment. How are your actions in reality opposite to what you say you want?
There's a good chance you tell yourself lies that you masquerade as logical decisions.
If you deny your fears, if you repress them, if you believe the fear doesn't exist, then you can't begin to address how the fears are affecting you. You can't begin to address how they affect how you act and react towards others. On the surface, you say you want to make friends, but your actions say otherwise.
Remember, the places you least want to look within yourself are the places you need to look most. Once you pinpoint and accept your fears, you can now act in accordance to what you truly desire and not what you fear. Have you ever worried about what other people have said or thought about you? Or maybe something that they've done? As you're about to find out, there are 2 parts to finding more happiness and letting go of a lot of unnecessary stress and anxiousness. Imagine you're on a sinking ship.
Can you figure out the difference between you, Mark, and person 2, who we can call Chelsea? Mark thinks, oh my god, the ship is sinking. This is terrible. I can't make the ship stop sinking. Mark becomes increasingly panicked as he stays where he is, and eventually enters the freezing water. Chelsea thinks, okay, the ship is sinking. I can't make the ship stop sinking, but I can get myself to a lifeboat. Who is more stressed, Mark or Chelsea? Both Mark and Chelsea are facing the same event, but have 2 completely different emotional reactions to the event. Chelsea uses her stress to initiate actions within her control. Because she has something within her control to focus on, she has the opportunity to feel hopeful and determined. Mark, on the other hand, has not thought of anything within his control. His focus is solely on the boat sinking, a thing that is outside of his control. Because of this, Mark only has the possibility of feeling stressed and hopeless. In any given situation, you can train yourself to become like Chelsea. Chelsea focuses on what's within her control. She can make the situation better or worse for herself by how she chooses to react.
Making your way to the lifeboat doesn't change whether or not the ship is sinking, but it can change how you feel about the boat sinking. By getting to the lifeboat, you decrease or remove the stress and anxiousness around the ship sinking. The second secret is this.
You need to ask yourself what is within your control and what is outside of your control. You can't control what other people think, say, or do, but you can control what you can think, say, and do. You might not choose the situation, but you always get to choose how you react to the situation. The things that you can control are split into two parts. Change the physical world, what you say and do, the people you spend your time with, the environments you spend your time in. Second, change your perception of the world, how you choose to interpret the outside world, and getting yourself to think beyond your initial reactive thought.
Your first thought is uncontrollable. Your first thought might be like Mark's, who thinks, oh my God, the ship is sinking. You can mindlessly keep running with this line of thinking, or you can catch yourself to be mindful of this thought as a thought and change course. In a similar fashion, Josh Waitzkin, a former chess player and martial arts world champion, shares this parable in his book, The Art of Learning. A man wants to walk across the land, but the earth is covered with thorns. He has two options. One is to pave his road, to tame all nature into compliance. The other is to make sandals. Making sandals is the internal solution. It does not base success on a submissive world or overpowering force, but on intelligent preparation and cultivated resilience. So Mark, are you going to make sandals to walk across this thorn-covered earth? The parable does phrase the decision as an all-or-nothing option. While making sandals is symbolic of resilience, why live in an environment where you must be resilient all the time? And so I would add that after you make your sandals, you can begin to make yourself a garden, an oasis, for you to walk barefoot. The oasis made of kind and caring people who build you up, and who you help build up too. An oasis where, for the most part, your daily life and routines just work for you. So yes, make your sandals, develop your resilience, but you need to also create the environment to nurture your peace of mind. Finally, create your garden while also taking time to venture out into the world and tame the thorns you're able to tame in order to make life better for those less fortunate than you. You can't tame all the thorns in the world, but that is no reason for not taming some of the thorns in your community and in your greater society. And helping others is actually another well of well-being that you can drink from. Just as long as you meet your own needs first and aren't facing burnout. You need to fill your cup first. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And the secret to happiness lies in MTV's reality TV show, My Super Sweet 16. I'm not kidding, I swear to you this will make sense in just a second. If you're not familiar with the show, it's basically a bunch of rich 16-year-olds getting lavish birthday parties for their sweet 16. Or I should say, 16-year-olds who have rich parents. So there's this girl, right, who has a complete meltdown over the fact that she gets a brand new car a day before she actually wanted it. Take a look.
What? Happy birthday! That's yours. I got a watch me do my thing. What the hell? I want my car now! Don't tell me my car now. I told her not to get it. I wanted it at my party. I didn't want the car. That's not even the car you wanted. But she's such an idiot. She just ruined the whole party. Everything. She just ruined everything.
As you can see, the secret to happiness is getting a free car on the right day. Okay, obviously not. I'm reminded of this quote from Paradise Lost. The mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell and a hell of heaven. The birthday girl chose to focus on the fact that it was not the right day to get a free car, and that it wasn't the car she wanted, rather than on the fact that she was getting a really nice car for free at 16 years old. She didn't realize and appreciate how fortunate she was, and rather than feeling happy, she's crying, she's upset. She has made a hell out of heaven. And while this is an extreme example, it illustrates how it's not the external world that dictates our happiness, but our internal world. Yes, money to a certain extent can provide a sense of happiness through money's ability to provide you with health, security, and freedom. But even with money, there is the law of diminishing returns. After a comfortable level, more money will not bring you more happiness. You must look within. Don't throw away the power of gratitude just because it sounds as vacuous as live, laugh, love. The third lesson is this. You might not feel grateful when you first start looking for things to be grateful for, but if you consistently look for good things, eventually you will start feeling those good things. It's as if your body needs to catch up to your mind. If your mind thinks the thoughts of gratitude, but your body won't feel the gratitude, in the past, what did you do? You gave up prematurely. You told yourself that gratitude won't actually make you happy. You tell yourself that gratitude will only make you complacent, that you would lose motivation if you let yourself be happy for what you currently have, or that your unreasonably high standards tell you you should not be grateful for what you have, that what you have is nothing. What if instead of believing this thought, you ask yourself where this unreasonably high standard came from? Why do you currently have it? Because if you don't address that unattainable high standard, where nothing is good enough, no matter how externally successful you become, you will always feel like a failure. It is possible to feel motivated to achieve more and be grateful for what you have. If you found this video helpful, stick around, like and subscribe. And if you're struggling with feeling like you're not enough, then watch this. Bye.